Hello all! As promised in my last video, this is a quick haul video of a few things that I purchased over the past couple of months, and then I hopefully will get into doing some art because I want to try out the paper that I purchased. So hopefully we can get to one piece of art. I am not gonna promise that it's gonna be something amazing because I really just want to try out the paper, and maybe if we have enough time I might even do another project, but I doubt it because I tend to babble a lot and then time runs away from me. So let's just hope for one piece of art today. So first up, this is a plate that I thought would be great to use for paints, whether it be watercolors or acrylics or alcohol inks. It's just a plate from IKEA. It's about 10 bucks, but it's got a couple compartments and mainly this large side that is hopefully great to mix the paint. And so I figured I would just bring it along with me because why not? Then I went to Blick Art here in San Francisco, and I was mainly looking for some watercolor brushes because the ones that I have are, I don't tend to buy a lot of expensive brushes because I'm not very gentle with them. So these are not the most expensive brushes, and because I bought 5, I got a discount too. But I wanted a set that I could just use for watercolors, and I wanted a couple that are very fine, so I got the 0 and the 1 and the 2, and then one that was a little bit thicker, which is the 4. Here, let's go like this. The 4 and the 5. So they're just a couple of round brushes because I just want to mainly use these for watercolors and hopefully not mess them up. That is the plan, but you never know. And they're all the same color, so I will know that these are now my watercolor brushes. Then I got some Claybord, and at first I just found the small ones, and those are 3.5 by 3.5, and it comes in a 4-pack. And then I also found a bigger Claybord, an 8 by 8, and it's just one in here. I want to use these with my alcohol inks. So that was the plan for those two. Then I also bought Aquabord 5 by 7. These are flat panels, come in a set of, how many are in here? 3? 1, 2, 3. And it seems to have watercolor paper texture on top, but it's a board. So, you know, something new to play with. And since I've been playing with my watercolor paints quite a bit over the past few weeks, I figured we'll try this. And the next thing I bought at Blick was this lino mat. I have it in my mind that I could create background stamps for some new projects, and I have the pink ones, but they're very soft, and I wanted something a little bit more rigid, a little bit more sturdy. So I'm gonna try this, and obviously you need your little cutters with it, which I have. They're in a drawer back there. I'm not gonna get them out now because they're not part of this video, but this is what the reason behind me purchasing this was. So we'll see. Maybe one of these days it will make an appearance in one of my videos, maybe not, but I bought it because I was at Blick's and I don't often get up to San Francisco anymore. So I figured I'd put this one in my bag as well. What I'm really excited about and what I want to try to play around with a little bit in this video is this mineral paper. And I've never heard of this mineral paper before, you guys. I don't know what it is. I saw it on Instagram, and the person that did art with it used watercolors, and it looked like alcohol inks. So I don't remember her channel off the top of my head, but I will link it down below so you can go have a look at it. She's on Instagram. I don't think she's on YouTube. She mentioned this paper, and so I found it on Amazon, and this will be linked in my Amazon affiliate links in the description down below this video. I link this one so you can have a look at it if you are interested. So this is what I got. It is the Yasutomo Mineral Paper. I have no idea if it's any good. It says waterproof, tear resistant, foldable, great for sketching, painting, mono printing, stenciling, rubber stamping, cartooning, finger painting, and also you can use it with watercolor, gouache, graphite, color pencils, charcoal, pastels, alcohol ink, inkjet, it prints on it apparently, acrylics, pen and ink, and markers. So what do you know? It's perfect for me. So unfortunately, it came like that in a box. And when I opened it up, the paper was like this. And I was very disappointed. So now I'm wondering if I got a pad that someone else ordered, opened it up, and then returned it, because it also came bent. So I don't know. I guess I will use the ones that are messed up for when I start playing around with it. But yeah, how disappointing is this? Anyway, I'm not about to return it because it's okay, but you know, just be aware that if you buy this on Amazon, they're not very careful when they package their stuff, and it might come all messed up like mine. The last couple of things that I bought were these gold pens, and I've seen someone on Instagram, because that's what I do when I'm bored. I scroll Instagram, and she had used these pens, and the gold was really nice, and so I again found them on Amazon. Guys, seriously, I would love to support the smaller stores, but nobody has the inventory anymore. Not even Michael's or Joann's. Joann's doesn't even have a lot of art stuff supplies anymore anyway. But Michael's doesn't have any inventory. And when they do, it's all of their own brand stuff, and I just don't like it. So I have to go to Amazon. But this is what I got. It's PenTouch gold, and I got them in a couple of different sizes. This one came in a pack of 3. I did not realize it came in a pack of 3. Obviously I can't read, so I didn't read the instructions, or the descriptions rather. So it came in a pack of 3. I'm gonna put these 2 away. I also got are these the same ones? I got a larger one as well, but that one hasn't shown up yet. So let me open this up and hopefully not cut myself in the process. That's always a possibility. Oh geez. Come on. All right, let's see. Do not remove this seal. I wonder why not. Can somebody tell me, why can't you remove that seal? All right, let's see. This one is, all right, come on, there you go. So very fine tip for this one. And then a slightly thicker tip for this one. And then I got a quite a bit larger one. So that is the mini haul. So what do you say? Should we play around with this guy? I think we should. Cause I talk a million miles an hour, and now I got through my mini haul so fast, it would be a shame if we didn't. All right, so let me tear this one out, and then I can cut it down a little bit, and then we should maybe have a look at the paper a little bit more up close. How about that? I will be right back. So I pulled the sheet that was the worst out, and I ripped the paper, and I also, it's really, the texture is really weird. I don't know, it's a little almost like warped, because I had to pull on it, tug on it a little bit. If you go sheet by sheet, they come out really easy, but because I got the one that was in the middle, it didn't tear out as beautifully as the first ones would. That's okay, because we're just gonna play around today. I want to mention that the paper smells really bad, and I can't decipher what it is. It doesn't smell good. It feels like it's plasticized. And when I researched the paper, I saw that it is actually made with stone. So it's just very strange. Made from rocks, not trees. Bright white vellum surface, acid free. So yeah, but it smells kind of funky. I don't know, if you're sensitive to smells, just be aware of that. I want to cut this down a little bit in size, so I'm bringing out my Cricut cutter. Ooh, it cuts like butter. So see what I mean? Look. It kind of warps when you, let me see. You can bend it, you can like score it. It cuts really well. Oh, once you score it, you can even rip it like that. You couldn't rip it like you could watercolor paper. Oh, never mind. That didn't work. Unless you rip it out like I did here, then you could. But like, it doesn't rip. You couldn't leave it with a ripped edge. I don't know what the word is for that. There is a word for it, but I forgot. So let's see what size we can cut this to and hopefully use up as much as possible. I'm gonna cut it right here. Oh, it cuts so nice. It's almost like the Yupo paper. When you cut the Yupo paper down, it's very satisfying. So we have, I put my protective mat down because I have a feeling we're gonna get messy. We'll use maybe one side we'll use with watercolor, and the other side we're gonna use with alcohol inks. How about that? Excellent. I'm glad you agree with me. All right, we're gonna use Winsor Newton. Oh, I forgot I need some water too. Duh. I had to crack the window open. When I came back in here, it smelled very strongly. I am used to working with very wet paper lately, so I don't think I want to spray the paper down just yet. Can you tell I'm a little apprehensive? Whenever I get something new to play with and I don't know how it's gonna go, I get a little freaked out. It's okay. I said it wasn't going to be a masterpiece and it won't be, so what am I worrying about? So I'm gonna get some of this. What is this? Turquoise. Turquoise. Because we love turquoise. And the paper is dry right now. First impression, it goes on very smooth. All right, let's mix in some of that viridian hue. And then we're gonna mix the two together. So here is my hope. My hope is that I can use this paper just like I use my alcohol inks. Now we're gonna spray it with water and then we're gonna see what happens. I basically want to know, how does it move? What does it do when it dries? I heard somebody say that you shouldn't use the heating tool with it because the paper will warp. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna use the heating tool on this just yet. All right, what else can we do? I'm gonna put in some purple because I love the purple too. So I can tell that where I put down the color first, it has stained the paper, and I'm not sure if I can. No, once it's on there, you guys, it's on there. So maybe the best course of action would be to make the paper wet first, because wherever I put down the paint, you can see the stroke marks that I did. And then there is another kind of weird thing that happened there. Otherwise, it is expected that the paint will move quite freely once you give it enough water. Maybe when you put down the water, the paint kind of just sits on top and won't stain the paper as if you were to put it down dry. Let's see what happens here. I kind of want to bring in my heating tool just to see what happens. Let me start it on low. It's almost like there's some cells popping. Very interesting. Look what happened here. So the paper didn't warp, not that much. I mean, it's very, very minuscule. But look how it dried, the watercolor. This definitely has a feel of alcohol ink. And I've mentioned this before in in a couple of other videos when I was working with watercolors, and then I was trying my Fineliner pens on top of the very slick graphics paper or the Yupo paper. I just don't like how slick the pen feels on top of that paper, and that's what's kept me from exploring the doodling on top of alcohol inks. So my hope is that I can use watercolors, which is better on your health because you're not, you know, inhaling the fumes, and that this paper will feel different when I doodle on top. This is promising. I really love what it did. Well, let's keep going. But I think, so here is my other question that I have for this project. Now that I'm gonna put more water on it, will it have stained the paper enough so that this, what I've just put down, is not moving anymore? That is my question. So let's just do it. What color should we use? Should we stick with these? Should we put a little bit more green in it? How about pink? Let's use some of this. Permanent rose is what this guy is. I need a pink that is more pink and not light purple. Let me mix it maybe with the one next to it, which is got the crimson hue. Let me see what happens. Yeah, that's a little bit better. What is gonna happen? We don't know. See, if I were a little bit more patient, then I would let it dry, air dry, but I'm not. So there's that. All right, let me give a little bit more water. Should we dry it? Of course we should. All right, I'm gonna dry this part and then I'll be back. All right, let's have a closer look. So as predicted, the color did not lift underneath. You can still see it. You can still see where, you know, the first layer I put down is. So I think making the paper wet first and then dropping in your colors, if this is the kind of style that you want to create, works best. And I am used to the colors drying a lot faster because obviously alcohol evaporates, and also watercolor paper soaks in the watercolors a lot faster. So alcohol inks will dry a lot faster, and so will watercolors on watercolor paper. However, watercolor paper, in my opinion, is not going to give you these kinds of results. So there's that. I am happy to say that when I put the warm air on top of the paper, it doesn't smell bad. Or maybe I'm just used to it now. I don't know. That could be. Maybe I have to leave the room and then come back in and check. I can feel it back in my throat a little bit. It's almost like it's dry, but I'm not sure if that's because of the air coming off the paper. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, and then maybe I want to add some yellow and a little bit more green over on this side, and then I'll embellish it a little bit. Does it? It does lift, especially where it's more concentrated. Can you see? It does lift the color a little bit. So that's something to be aware of. Let's see what happens. We're gonna add a little bit more of the turquoise in it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, look at that. It did dissolve this little part here. I kind of want this to stay, so let's stay away from that. All right, I want to add a little bit more yellow over on that side. I just said stay away from it, and then I spray it with water. Typical me. Ooh, what's happening? All right, let's try that, and then I'll be back. Okay. So let's compare this paper to this one. There is a little bit of warping. Let me scoot you out a little bit here. This is not flat either, but there is a little bit of warping happening. However, I'm really pleased with the results. Look how cool this looks. It did lift a little bit of the color down here, but there's some really cool textures happening, and I love how you can still see the bottom layer underneath the top one, which you can't really get when you're working with alcohol inks unless you use Yupo paper, which will also, you know, kind of stain whatever first layer you put on there. Look how fun this is. So this works really well for what I want to use it, or what I had intentions for it. Next, I think I want to try and use it the way I use watercolors on just watercolor paper, and not how I would use it as alcohol inks. More traditional way, I guess. I'm very impressed. I didn't know what to expect. This was fun. So you can rub it quite easily. You know what? Let me try something. I'm getting bold here. I don't have high hopes, but let's see. No, that one will not. But the little splashes, they disappeared. My guess is you would have to do it quite quickly after it happens. Anyway, so far so good. Let's test it with my Fineliner pens. So I think I want to try my Fineliner new gold pen to see what kind of marks I can make. Let's see, what should we do? Let's do some lines in this guy. Okay. I was gonna use my dotting tool with the gold, but this gold is not the same as the other gold, so I'm just gonna use the pen. Cute. Oh, so shiny. Let's put some dots on these ones. Come on. I'm gonna bring the dots in here to kind of, the tip is loose and it'll come out when I pull on it. So every time I make a little dot, it moves, which is annoying. And that might just be a faulty pen. Ooh, I like that. And then maybe let's bring the dots down here. Cute. I love how shiny the gold is. The black pens are struggling. And I keep messing it up because I have to go over and over and over, and then they dry out. They are not happy. And I don't know if it's because of the paper or if it's because of the watercolor that just sits on top of the paper. But that's why we're doing this. We're trying it out. All right, I'm not gonna touch that anymore, except yeah, this one's like, not today, I'm done. And I'm like, just a little bit more, come on. There we go. All right, that looks a little bit better. All right, let's have a quick look, shall we? Obviously, you know, I could have done a lot more, but I just wanted to test out the pens and the gold pen and the white pen and see how it works with the dotting. So the Micron pens, the thinner I got, like the 005, was really struggling. It does not like, I don't know if it doesn't like the paper or if it doesn't like the color that's on top. Normally, I do struggle a little bit with watercolors and the fine tip microns, but here it just did not like it at all. I had to go back, you know, to the side here to reactivate and, you know, make the ink come back out. And at some point, although this one has been on the fritz for a long time, it just completely gave out. Hopefully it'll come back once it had a little bit of time to, you know, chill out. But we'll see. Also, it doesn't like when you want to go over it and the ink is still wet. So I was struggling to get over, you know, round out my corners, my intersections here. And then I messed up sometimes. So it's definitely a little bit of a learning curve. The way it feels on this paper to work with the Fineliner pens is a lot better than the Yupo paper or the graphics paper. So that is a plus, and I look forward to playing around with it a little bit more. I love the gold in this gold pen. It is so shiny and it gives the piece a little bit of sparkle. What I don't like, and I mentioned that before, is that I think it's a faulty pen, you guys. Maybe not, maybe, but I'm hoping that's what it is. Tell me, if you have this pen, does this come out? I feel like it should not come out like that. And also, like, there's give, like it wiggles. And every time I make a dot, it wiggles. And so I can't make a precise dot, it feels. Minor detail, the gold is absolutely stunning, so it makes up for it. Overall, I'm super impressed. I really enjoy how the colors mingle, how it gives me the feel of the alcohol ink. I can see myself using this paper again for this purpose. I would like to see how it interacts when I do something like this. Oh, maybe I can do, this was done with my diluted acrylics. Maybe I can try that next time. But you know, we'll see how that works, or we'll see how it behaves when I use the watercolors in a different way. I'm used to the colors drying a lot faster because when I do this technique, I work with alcohol inks, and obviously the alcohol inks will dry super fast. This took forever. So a little sad about that, but I think it's just, you know, getting used to it, and it's not something that will prevent me from doing this technique again. I really enjoyed how it gave me the fluid motion of the alcohol inks, and that I don't have to wear a mask when I work with it, which is always a plus. I have not stepped out of my room yet and come back in to see what it smells like in here. My window is cracked just a little bit. It's warm outside today, so I don't want to let, you know, all the hot air come in. So it's probably doesn't make that much of a difference. So far, it's not too bad. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little haul and my little testing out of my new materials. Some of them at least. I got to use my gold pen, I got to use my new paper, I got to use my new brushes. So all in all, I would say that's not too shabby. Alright guys, that is it for me today, and I don't know when this video will come out, and then I think I just want to come back and go back to what I know and what I love doing and give you one of those videos next. So until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are, and I hope you get to be creative.